A son for a son, he said. Or does she look like a f***ing son to you?
I want to jump right into Blood and Cheese. As horrific as it is in the books, it's different on screen, right? It's not quite, I don't know, you can tell me, is it not quite as traumatizing as it is in the books? That's how it came across to me.
They both look the same. Which one's a boy?
The mother knows.
Talk to me about that change. Why choose to make those changes?
Just very simply, Maelor has not yet been born in the storyline. We did have to compress time in season 1 to make it so that we didn't have to recast every character on screen. We were just recasting the kids, so to speak, as we went along. And just part of that meant that Aegon and Helena's children were younger, as are Daemon and Rhaenyra's children younger at the very end of this, because not as much time passed after their marriages to give time for all these kids to grow up.
Right.
That was one element, and then I think the other was just wanting it to be this very visceral experience that happens to Helena, who I think a lot of people could argue is the most innocent person on either side of this conflict, and just sort of finds herself in the crossfire of this tit-for-tat kind of, point and counterpoint, punch and counterpunch that's going on between the sides, and this being Daemon's, vengeance at Rhaenyra's request or demand for the death of Luke.
Is the other one. She's not going to give up the king's heir that easy.
No. She's telling true.
And it felt like that was the core dramatic point that was important to be made. And look, I love this scene in the book. It was deeply affecting the first time I read it. It does speak to a different Daemon, I think, than the one that we've dramatized on screen. And look, he's capable of some pretty bad stuff, but that the moment in the book is so sort of nakedly cruel that I don't know that, and look, it's entirely possible. This is a moment of cruelty that does have some nuance and complexity to it that Daemon is no less guilty of, but I think it does help nuance the moment and make it left up more to interpretation for an audience that's trying to figure out which side they're going to take in this whole conflict.
They killed the boy.